Hello, Microsoft class. So I'm going to try something new. This is kind of like a lecture online, but it's more like some Microsoft Word tips that I've thought of. Um, Earlier this week, I posted a video asking for, just tell me some ways I could help you in this class. Got a lot of different responses. A lot of people say that it's hard to work in this class just because it's self-driven, which means that you decide uh, when to do the assignments, and it's basically self-taught because everything you're learning is not from me but another computer program. So I really haven't been present as a teacher as much as a facilitator, which is how I like to run my classes sometime anyway. But I know that you guys have been saying you could use the extra help. Some of you guys have asked for maybe some group sessions. This video is just going to offer some of the options for those sorts of things. I'm also going to show you some general tips from Microsoft Word in general, some things that I think might help you with your assignments, and some things that have helped me get through the assignments as I've tried them. And I'm trying to understand things from your level. So just a little bit about my experience with Microsoft Office. I've been using Microsoft Word for probably the longest, but Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, I've been using those three programs for a long time. Outlook is a little bit new to me. But I feel like I was 12 years old when I started to use this program. So what? That's around 20 years of use. And so I realized a lot of you guys are starting Microsoft Office for the first time. And so when I'm taking these exams, I'm bringing all that experience with me, but you guys just had the experiences of the last few weeks. So I'm trying to understand that. I'm trying to learn things with you guys, trying to learn how things can go a little bit easier. First of all, let me just address the teamwork aspect of this class. A lot of you guys have been saying, man, it's been hard to work on our own. And that was never my intention for you guys to work on your own. I've tried to give you some options. I've pointed some of these options out to you guys in previous videos, but maybe not recently. So let me just kind of show you some options. So I'm going to go to Google Classroom. So here's our Google Classroom. First thing you'll notice on the stream is that this is basically where I make my announcements. Some of you guys have been seeing my announcements on the stream. There's at the top it says share something with class, and so you can post anything here you want to. For my other classes, I have this turned off, but for this class, you can click here just like I would and make an announcement to the class. I'm not sure if you can decide if you want everyone or just some people to see it. I'm not sure why you would, but so you can share something with the class that way. You can even go over to your people tab and email students, and either everybody at once or in people individually. As long as you know they're checking their email, that shouldn't be a problem. Another way you can collaborate with classmates, especially since you might want somebody to share their screen with you. Instead of using Zoom, you can use this little Meet link. So this link is always available at the top of stream, I think as a classwork as well. Yeah, there's a Meet button right here at the top of classwork. And so either that link on stream or this little button on top of classwork is very similar to Zoom if you haven't used it before. It used to be called Hangouts. Now it's called Google Meet. And you could just say, hey, let's go to Google Meet on the Microsoft class at 2 o'clock today or something like that. And you guys can meet, you guys could chat with a video chat, or you could turn your camera off and just use voice, whatever. That's a really good way to collaborate. And then of course there's the Flipgrid. The advantage of using a Flipgrid is that somebody can record a video and the other person doesn't have to be there to see it at the same time. You can record a video. I think I set the video maximum to 5 minutes, but I can lengthen that if I need to and make it as much as 10 minutes. And then you can have a friend reply, just, hey, can you go check the Flipgrid? I left something. Can you go see if you can help me with this problem? I know Tracy and a few other people have been taking advantage of Flipgrid, and I've been responding as much as I can. So yeah, you have those three options. And of course, I always have my tutoring, which I have almost every day. Like for example, tonight I'll have tutoring at 8:30 on Wednesday, which is today. And so even though my Zoom is available to all my classes, if one or more of you want to come and join and collaborate during that Zoom session, that's absolutely fine. The only thing that one of you guys brought up that, well, why don't we just have a session for just this class, like on just one project? I haven't really thought about that. I think a lot of you guys are reaching the capstone project, so maybe we can have a session with just doing the capstone project together. I'm gonna have to think about how that would work. So I'll get back to see if that's something that we can do or not. So those are just some ways to collaborate. I really hope you guys take advantage of those. Like I said, if you want to collaborate with me, right now my tutoring sessions that I have scheduled, you can look at the contact and tutoring information for my tutoring schedule right here. I have my Zoom hours posted. Or just contact me. If you want to work with one of your classmates, Flipgrid, that little Meet link, or just go to the stream and leave a post. Those are really easy ways to do that as well. And then well, I won't talk about that. Anyway, so now I'm going to open Microsoft Word. I already have it open actually. And I'm just going to show you some things that have helped me. You guys might have learned some of these things already, but I know that some of you guys are still working to the very beginning assignments. So I just want to show you guys the basics. I'm not sure if you would have learned about this unless you actually read the ebook. And yes, we do have an ebook. It's on the Cengage website. I haven't pointed it out to you guys because I didn't necessarily think you would need it. But if you get stuck and you just have no idea what's going on or what this program is about, maybe go read the first few chapters of that ebook. So what I'm going to do at the very top of Microsoft Word and every Microsoft Office program is, I think, is what is called a ribbon. I'm going to call it a ribbon. I have several tabs on this ribbon: File, Home, Insert, Design, Layout, References, Mailing, Review, and Help, and Format. I'll come back to Format. And then this little light bulb that says Tell me what to do. So if you guys have used Google Docs, the menu doesn't really look like this. You would click on Insert, and then a little drop-down menu would come down. On Word and all the other Microsoft Office programs, instead of a drop-down menu, they have all of these options laid out horizontally. So really half of this, half of the battle is just knowing where everything is and just getting used to, like, hey, do you want to insert a video? Okay, I need to go insert and then click on video or whatever. And all the stuff that I'm going to show you right now, I have made a PowerPoint, which I will post to Classroom when this video is posted. And you can look at that PowerPoint and just kind of go through the summaries of what each of these options do. And this is just a very general introduction. I'm not going to show you guys specifics. I tried to record a video with specifics and it took way too long. So I'm going to show you guys the general stuff. And if you guys want me to get into specifics, you can either contact me, we can go one-on-one, or if enough people want it, I can record a video about it. So from left to right, File, I hope you guys are familiar with the File button. And to get there, I just clicked on the upper left, File. And File is the only one that kind of brings you to a new screen. But from here, I can open a new document. I can open an existing document. I can save my document. I can also close this document. And let me just go and show you that. If I close this document, I don't close the program, but I do close the document, which is handy if A, I have multiple files open and I just want to get rid of the clutter, or B, if I want to keep Word open to open another file, because sometimes computers can take a while to open Word. So I'm going to go back and open the document I just had open. This is just my outline, just to make sure I remember everything to talk about. And actually, I have my PowerPoint open right here, so I can make sure I know what to talk about too. So that's File. Next one is Home. So the Home tab is where you would basically do any of the text formatting options. So you got font type, italics, underline, bold, font size, highlight, font color, bullets, numbers, fill, whatever. And then there's actually some preset styles you can select from. Like if I want to use their heading style, I can click on heading. The navigation popped up. I want navigation. So that's the purpose of Home tab. Insert is if I want to put something into the Word document. It's literally, if I want to insert something or place something. Like I can insert a table. Just, here we go, just a 2x2 table right there. Go back to insert. I could insert a picture. Smart art, which some of you guys have gotten to. A comment, headers, footers, anything you can think of adding that's different from just blank text. You could probably find it in insert somewhere. The design and layout tabs are kind of similar in that you use design and layout to kind of change the overall appearance of your document. The design tab is more things like what colors do you want your text and page to be? And now it's more than just changing colors for one specific word or line at a time. It's more like changing the color of every heading or every title you have in your page. So like this kind of like the style of your entire document, not just whatever you have selected. And you could change your page color. You can even add a watermark. Layout is also, again, changing the appearance of your page, but this time is kind of the positioning aspect. Positioning aspect, excuse me. So like how big you want your margins to be. Do you want to have a portrait document, or do you want it to be landscape? And I think we're just kind of had a mini crash there, sorry. How big do you want your page to be? You can set this to be a letter size document, or even a poster size document, probably. References, mailings, and review, where you're not going to really use that much. You will use some of the time. I'll just kind of go through it really quickly. References, I'll be surprised if you get to this references before you get to the advanced sections, but references is basically like if you're making a professional document or a really long document, you can insert something like a table of contents that will actually link to other pages, insert captions for your photos, things like that. Mailings, so there's lots of options here for mailings. If you're writing one letter, but you want to address it to more than one person, or even print out labels for your envelopes, there's lots of options for that in mailings. Review, you'll use the spelling and grammar check and probably the dictionary tool, wherever the dictionary tool is. And so that's probably good to know about, is that if you have spelling errors, you can click spelling and grammar. It'll tell you, well, what's spelled wrong. And it tells me Flipgrid is spelled wrong. It's weird that Flipgrid is spelled wrong, but Flipgrid is a Microsoft product, so you think they know how to spell that right. I don't know. Anyway, read aloud, so you can read your page aloud if you want to. You can also, review is pretty cool because if you are proofreading your paper, you want to make changes, but you don't want to lose the old changes, there's lots of options for that. Again, references, mailings, and review are not really part of the basic Word tools. So I wouldn't worry about memorizing what is in those menus just yet. View. So this view tab is just basically how can I change how I view my document. So there's a read mode where instead of having a print layout, you kind of have a book kind of format. I don't have very much text on, so it's not the best way to look. It's not the best document for that. Let me go back. Can I go back to the print layout? There we go. I can also go to a web layout, which is basically like this is what your page would look like as a website. And you can publish Word documents to a website. I can zoom in. I can show multiple pages at the same time. I'm not going to do that. Again, anything in this view ribbon or view tab, you can't really change the text or appearance of your document. It's just how you view it. Even if you change the view and save it and send it to someone else, chances are it's not going to change how your recipient is going to view the document. It's just how you view the document. Ruler, the ruler is here. So view, and if you check ruler, that ruler is really handy because they're going to tell you things about tab stops and how to change the paragraph placing. So that's good to know that you can turn the ruler on and off from the view menu. Help, there's a help button here. That's good if you need to know, if you're looking for something, you can't find it. Another good thing is if you need help finding a specific option, tell me what to do is really cool. And if you've used Google Docs, you might remember if you go to the help menu, there's a little search button. Same thing. Like if I want to say font size, There's lots of options for like font settings, increase or decrease the font size, and then I can change the font from there too. Let's see, margins. If I don't know how to change my margins, I don't know which of these option menus to go to, I can look up there. I don't know if the exams will let you use that search menu, but you guys all have Microsoft Word now. So you could just open your copy of Microsoft Word and search for the menu here, then you know where to go in the exam. So that would help. I think I breezed through all of these little menu options. Oh, except for a couple things. So I inserted a chart and picture into my document earlier. Notice that my last few options here are review, view, and help. If I click on the chart that I made, or table, I'm sorry, I can see that now there's two extra options. There's chart design and chart layout. So those options are specific for my chart. So a lot of times when you're doing these practices and exams, or excuse me, trainings and exams, I ask you to change something about a chart or a picture, I would encourage you to click on that chart or picture because those options will pop up. And you might not have seen them until you actually click on something. Same with pictures. So if I click away from the chart, the table, and then click on my picture, now there's a picture format tool. And it has options that are specific to the picture that you wouldn't normally see because there wouldn't be a picture if you just click on text. So another thing is that if I so notice that when I click on this picture, this little box appears. That box gives me some additional layouts on how my picture functions. So for example, if I click and drag my picture to go in the middle of this list, it might not look very pretty. But if I select tight, no, is it tight? Square is my favorite. Square, the text will kind of wrap around it. And I can more easily click and drag it to where I want it to go. Also, if I just right click on things, guys, right clicking on things is so helpful. This would be the first place I would go. If I had a question about how, like, change this picture to do this, right clicking is normally the first thing I would do because it gives me all these shortcuts to options that I would otherwise have to dig for in this menu up here. So just being able to right click on things like a chart, text, or picture might save you a lot of time. It's not going to work all the time, but right clicking is very helpful. It brings up some of those handy menu options. So again, everything I just discussed in this program is covered in that PowerPoint, and I'll leave a link in this video. But it will also be on Google Classroom posted right next to this video. So a lot of you guys have asked me to work out some problems, but you never gave me any specific problems to work. So let me just kind of show you some things that have helped me as I took the exams. So earlier I was showing you this option on how to change how the pictures are laid out. This isn't the only place I can change this. This is not the only place I can change how text wraps around pictures. So whenever I bring a picture up here, however the picture is placed inside text, that's called text wrapping. So this looks pretty ugly. If I just want the picture to be on just one line of text, I'd say in line with text. If I want to click and drag my picture wherever I want, I would choose square or tight or something like that. So I can do that by either clicking here. I can also go up here to the layout options and say, click this wrap text button. I think there's a lot of things in the exam that ask you to access this menu for different things. And if you don't recognize this, so if I minimize my window, you see that all of my options are kind of scrunched together. And all of the options I just showed you with the picture are now in this arrange menu. So there's position, wrap text, bring forward, send backward. If I maximize my window, you'll see position, wrap text, bring forward, send backward. I say that because on the exam, the menu options are arranged differently, but they're still all there. So like here, I can see position, wrap text, bring forward, send backward. If I scrunch it together a little closer, there we go. Now it's changed to arrange. So you guys might have had to use that arrange button quite a bit. And I found myself using that arrange button a lot. So if you're stuck on a problem that involves a picture, see if you can find that option within one of these arrange options. And again, I really can't tell you everything, not just because I can't help you in all the exam questions, but also because I can't, it's hard for me to tell you everything. My best advice to you is that SAM training that you guys did at the very beginning of this term are really helpful. For example, if you're stuck on any one exam problem, like if you're stuck on exam problem number 36, go back to SAM training problem number 36. Chances are they're exactly the same, or at least the exact same concept. And I told a lot of you guys, if you get stuck on an exam question, just remember, we're trying to prepare for a certification exam. Certification exam means no help from anyone, period. So try to do those exam problems by yourself for the first time. You have 3 attempts for each problem. So the first time, try by yourself. For the next 2 times, go back to SAM training. And you can keep the exam and SAM training open at the same time. Go back to SAM training, or even Google the question. Chances are SAM training is probably the best way to do it because, like I said, I've been kind of saying this earlier, Microsoft Word lets you do things with, there's many different ways to get to one option. SAM training will kind of show you the way it wants you to do it. So I'm just trying to help you guys get where you need to be. One specific question that somebody did ask is how to change the size of pictures. Like, man, it wants me to change this to approximately this size, but I can't get it right. So if I right click on an image and I click on size and position, like if it wants a picture to be 6 inches long or 6 inches wide, I can type in 6 inches and, well, I think it moved down to the bottom. Now my picture is 6 inches wide. I'm gonna shrink that down a little bit. And you see it changed the height. It kept the aspect ratio. I'm gonna change it to 3. So this was kind of my tips video number 1. I'll have number 2 and number 3, but I really need some suggestions from you guys. You know, what concepts are you guys struggling with? Where can I help you? I'll try to go into your exams and see maybe what questions most people are missing. And I can maybe, when I make my tips video number 2, I can look at those suggestions. And if you have any suggestions, just go to the comment section in YouTube or go back to Google Classroom and leave a class comment there. Either way, I'm bound to look at it. And if you need to tell me anything privately, text me or email me, call me, and look forward to working with you guys. I think it's really cool what you guys are doing right now. Please don't give up. Now, I'll talk to you later.